Are we live here? Okay. Today we're going to be previewing the college baseball tournament, which probably has already started by this point, but I'm going to go through each of these teams. And based on history, there's always a lower seed that makes it to Omaha or somehow does well. I'm going to go through the gematria of each of these, all 64 teams in it. We're going to try to figure out who's going to be victorious at the end. Remember last year, we had the Ole Miss Rebels. They won it on 54 date numerology, 153 and 54. Here, look at this. So Ole Miss Rebels won it last year, 153, 54, just like. Okay, 153, 54, just like Jesuit order, right? 144, 54, or sorry, 54, 153, 54, 153. Last year, they won it on, see if it'll tell me the date. They won it on June 26th. June 26th, the 177th day of the year. Was it the Jesuit Order 177? And they won that game 4-2, Jesuit 42. There we go, Jesuit 42. They won that game 4-2, and they got their 42nd win of the season. They got their 42nd win of the season, 4-2. Jesuit 42 on the 177th day of the year, the Jesuit Order 177. Just like Jesuit Orders 144 and 54, or sorry, 54 and 153, just like Ole Miss Rebels. And it also happened to be on 54 date numerology. And also, if you just, the College World Series winner always connects to the MLB World Series winner. So like you see, Rebels is 61. Last year, when the Houston Astros won the World Series, it was their 61st season. And let's just go back a few years. Back in 2016, you had the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers upsetting everyone on their way to the College World Series title, 108. So that was back in 2016. Look at that. There's Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. Now if we look up 2016 World Series, the Chicago Cubs won it, snapping their 108-year curse. So yes, these two competitions are always connected. Well, so are we actually live or not? Hold on. Okay. Good, we are live. I just wanted to make sure. Moving on. So as I'll get to later in this video, there are some things that I'd like to, there are some teams that I do see some riddles with, but we'll touch on that as we go along. Just to keep in mind, Well, I guess it's not telling us when the... Oh, there it is. Okay, well, and no later than June 26th. So to keep in mind, the College World Series this year starts 153rd day of the year, and it's scheduled to end on the 177th day of the year. So just like, oh, I already got rid of it, but the Jesuit order 177, Jesuit order 153. And they're saying this is the 76th edition of the tournament. And this is the year of the 119th World Series. That's the MLB World Series. So we're going to start things off in this regional here, or these two regionals. We'll start off with Wake Forest. Did I spell Demon Deacons right? I don't think I did. I think it's just one D. Okay, I did not spell that right. My bad. So nothing stands out here for Wake Forest so far. Not that I could. They are the #1 overall seed. Nothing really stands out. I mean, they do have the 111 connection, and I've talked about in previous videos why New York is heavily connected to this year's World Series in light of it being the 119th World Series, and 111 is a big New York number. So it's something to keep in mind, but we'll revisit this when we get to Omaha. So this next one that I want to point out is a bit of a sneaky one, because George Mason equals 119. And it's the year of the 119th World Series. So that's something to keep in mind. That doesn't mean they're going to win it, but it's just maybe something to consider. And Northeastern Huskies has also got that 111. Oh, and just to consider about the date numerology, so it could end on... Well, we don't know if it's going to end on the 26th. It's either going to end on the 26th or the 25th. We'll see. No, actually, this is going to be a bit tedious. I'm not going to go through each one of these teams. But I'm going to go through some of the teams that I've seen that I think have some sneaky good riddles. We'll go to Alabama Crimson Tide. Oh, move that one. Alabama Crimson Tide 119. Just like George Mason. Just like this is just to show you. 2023 World Series. No, it's not. I don't know where it's going to tell us it's the 100. Okay, yeah, so there it is. So yeah, just to confirm, this upcoming World Series will be the 119th. Alabama Crimson Tide 119, and there we miss. Okay, but anyways, I was talking about Stanford equals 119. Then I was going to talk about Miami because we go down to we'll go down to this regional final here between Miami and Texas. 169 combined points, and 169 is 13 squared. That was on March 26th. 3/26. Until the potential end of the College World Series. is exactly 13 weeks. And funny enough, these two teams will likely be playing each other in this regional. We'll see. And we remember there was the death of Cliff Gustafson earlier this year with Texas. And also what's interesting is I mentioned earlier in the video how, let's go back to today, how it's starting on 153rd day of the year, ending on the 177th day of the year, both Jesuit numbers. On this day that Texas lost to Miami in basketball, let's go to the box score of this game. Okay, there we go. Texas and Texas Tech both became 18-7. Now, so I just said Jesuit Order 153, the Jesuit Order 177, Society of Jesus 187 and 56. And that game was on 26/3. Now, there you go. 263 is the 56th prime number, just like Society of Jesus. So there's your 187-56 connection. And I've already talked about Austin being a big Jesuit city. I don't need to go more into that. And that was, of course, that was 83 days after Cliff Gustafson died. Murder 83, won the College World Series in 83. Moving on, the next team that I wanted to talk, well, I guess we kind of talked about Texas. Next team I want to talk about was LSU. The reason why I want to talk about LSU is because 2023. So this year, Japan won the World Baseball Classic. They also won the World Baseball Classic back in 2009. And 23 is the 9th prime number. I'll just show you that here. Let's type in 23. 23 is the 9th prime number. So the team that won it in 23 also won it in 09. And how should I do this? Let me just copy this. 2009 college baseball tournament was won by LSU. So could we see a repeat of how the World Baseball Classic did it? LSU's the Tigers, right? The potential end date for the College World Series. Maybe I was misremembering. Hold on. 84. Oh, there. Okay, no. Here it is. The potential end date for the College World Series has 39 date numerology, just like Tigers. I don't think there's anything else here for LSU. Louisiana State University. I know the real name of LSU is like super long and confusing. It's like LSU State A&M or something like that. Let me just look that up. Officially, Louisiana State University and Agricultural Mechanical College. What is that in gematria? Okay, is that a prime number? No, it's not. But if you just did Louisiana State University, I mean, 103 is the 27th prime. I don't see any 27 things. How many College World Series? Okay, LSU is going for their 7th title. I mean, they could get it on the 177th day of the year. 17's the 7th prime. They could get that 7th title. I don't believe LSU has won it since. One, two, yeah, they have not won it since. Okay. Moving on. The only thing with Kentucky that I saw was that Kentucky Wildcats is 201, and in light of the Jesuit things that we were just talking about, 153 and 177, Kentucky Wildcats being 201 is not something to dismiss. I can't. Did I already talk about Boston College? I think I didn't. I think I may have glossed over Boston College. But Boston College also has those Jesuit numbers. Of course, they are a Jesuit school. Boston College Eagles is 76, like it's the 76th NCAA Division One baseball tournament. I know it doesn't end on 76 numerology. Yeah, Boston College Eagles. And Boston College is in the same regional as Alabama, I believe. Yes. So I have reason to believe that if Alabama or Boston College wins this regional, they'll also win the super regional and go to Omaha. That's just my guess as of now, but we'll see. This isn't the easiest thing to predict. Okay, I'd already talked about. I don't think there's anything there. And also, we did have those. There was that shooting in Kentucky. I was just talking about Kentucky Wildcats. Where's the Eagles? Hold on. Yeah, Kentucky Wildcats, 201. And we did have that shooting in Kentucky not long ago. That was in Louisville, not Lexington, but still, same state. Moving on, I don't remember seeing anything about Clemson other than that they are the Tigers. And we did talk about how the College World Series could end on 39 date numerology. Oh, I guess I didn't put it down there, but Tigers is 39. Same thing with Auburn. Arizona, okay. I want to show you something about Arizona. Arizona Wildcats is 175. Now, it won't tell you here, but the final series, the championship round of the College World Series, will start on June 24th, which is the 175th day of the year. So that is something to consider. And Arizona also equals 39, like the date numerology of the final game. And Arizona was one of the last teams in, I believe. Here they are. What's funny is that I think Arizona and Arkansas both have the Arkansas. Arizona and Arkansas both equal 84. I want to say there's something with Razorbacks. Can't remember. No, okay, so and obviously this year was just the 84th men's college basketball tournament. Yet Arkansas was the #1 favorite in the way too early edition last year, and then Arizona was one of the bigger teams that got upset. Moving on to, I think Iowa had something. Hold on. Who was it? Hawkeyes? Hawkeyes is 119, like it's the year of the 119th World Series. And Eastern, I did see something with Eastern Illinois that I actually want to point out. Eastern Illinois Panthers 111, like New York. I think they are the Panthers, right? Yeah. So you can't. I didn't look up Xavier or Oregon. Xavier does have the 38 numerology, like the College World Series could end on 38 date numerology. Same thing with Oregon. Not much there. I haven't looked up these teams yet. Well, Connecticut Huskies is 75, and they did win the basketball tournament. It could end on 75 date numerology, just saying. I'm not going to look up every single one of these teams, but just to recap, my favorites. Wake Forest is not really one of my favorites. Alabama is one of my favorites because of the 119. The only reason why LSU is a favorite is because of Tigers. I don't need this one in here at all. Arizona and get rid of that one. Stanford being 119. That's key. And then Miami because of the Miami Texas connections that we talked about earlier. And also another thing with LSU, because I talked about how LSU won it in 09, just like Japan won the World Baseball Classic in 09, as well as this year. And 23 is the ninth prime. We go back to the 1996 NCAA Division I baseball tournament. Just go to Miami here. So you'll see here that Miami beat Texas. That was Cliff Gustafson's final game. He just died earlier this year. Miami advanced to the College World Series, only to lose to LSU. So that's another thing for LSU. Now, I don't think LSU and Miami can match up in the. Let me check the bracket because I don't think. Yeah, LSU and Miami cannot match up in the finals. It seems like all the favorites that I have are on this side of the bracket: Alabama, Boston College, Miami, Texas, Stanford, LSU, Kentucky. I guess Arizona's on this side. I mean, as of now, I would say the winner is going to be from this side. Although I mean, that's a 1 in 2 chance, so it's not really a gotcha moment or anything like that. I do need to do more research into this. This is the first time I've tried to code the college baseball tournament. I think I'll have a better picture once we get to Omaha, or maybe I'll even have a better picture after the regionals. Because I'm not really. They probably there's a lot to look into because these teams have played a lot of postseason games, and well, they play so many games this season. These managers often they played a lot of games, so they have a lot of their win loss total is going to be kind of hard because their numbers are going to be so high that the gematria might not reflect it. If I were to pick some teams to win it, it would be Alabama, Boston College, maybe Miami and Texas, Stanford. I'm not. LSU is my favorite out of the Tiger teams. There's more than one Tiger team in this tournament. We got LSU, we got Auburn, Clemson. Yeah, I think that's it on the Tigers. I need to look more into this side of the bracket. Like I haven't really looked at the Nashville or Stillwater or Charlottesville regionals, or the Columbia regional for that matter. But Arizona is my sneaky pick from this side of the bracket. And just like Ole Miss last year, I think I want to look. How do I do this? 2023 NCAA baseball tournament last four in. Trying to figure out if there's a way to find out who the last four in were. Yeah, I think Arizona may have been the last four in. There might be a way to. Hold on. Let's go on to Twitter for a second. I want to scroll down because I remember they definitely posted it. Would have been on whichever day. Would have been on the 29th. Yeah, so Arizona was one of the last teams in last year. So you're going to mention anything about Ole Miss being the last team in? British search. 2022 Ole Miss baseball last team in. Huh. I want to read this. Are they going to mention 74 and 42? Yes, they didn't talk about it. They won their 42nd game of the season, 4-2, on the 177th day of the year. They didn't talk about that. Yeah, there. Ole Miss was the last team in. So we'll see. Arizona's a long shot. Let me there. Yeah, 2023 college series betting odds. Here we go. Was this for? Oh no, I don't want to look just at. I want to look for the to win the whole thing. I think I've looked at this site before, but this was for yeah, that was at the preseason. Okay, here we go. So for example, like LSU's plus 800, Stanford's plus 1500. These are pretty good odds. Kentucky's plus 3000. Is Arizona even on? Arizona's not even. They don't even have odds for Arizona. Well, how do I just see? Can I just? Does DraftKings must have it. Here we go. It's like how far down is Arizona? Arizona's plus 15,000. So that mean I think that means if you bet 100, you'll profit 15,000. So you get 16,000 back, but you'll have a net gain of 15,000. But I'm just thinking, say you chose 6 teams. Say you chose LSU, Stanford, Kentucky, Miami, Texas, and Arizona. Say those were the 6 teams that you chose. And one of those, say those were 6 teams that you chose and LSU won it. So that's 500, and you bet $100 on each. That's $500 down the drain. But then you get 800 back. So you end up getting 300 profit. And if one of these other teams wins it, that's a lot more. Like if one of those 6 teams, like if Stanford won it out of one of those 6 teams that I just mentioned, then so that's $500. But then you get back to that you would win $1,000. I mean, that's that's like almost 1 month's worth of rent. That's not bad. And these teams down here have even bigger odds. Again, I have to look more into this. Oh, this is wait, women's college? Wait, no, this is just the headline's wrong because this is not the women's college World Series. This is the men's college World Series. We'll see what they do. Again, no doubt it's probably connected to 119. If it's another low seed like Arizona was, or like Coastal Carolina was, like Ole Miss was, then I'm just gonna be pissed off. Not, I don't really like being right about sports predictions because it pisses me off. Like when they have like when the Stars get eliminated 49 days after Raymond Sawada's death, and 49 was like the big number that I talked about. It's a little frustrating, but I think that's enough for today. We'll revisit the I don't know what happened here. We'll revisit the College World Series later on in the tournament.